I was one of the lucky few kids that grew up with military parents, and I knew throughout the entirety of my childhood that I was going to join the Marine Corps. I just didn't know when. A few short months after my 17th birthday, that's when I decided that was going to be my time. My name is Kirstie Ennis, and I served 6 years in the United States Marine Corps as a helicopter door gunner and airframes mechanic. A door gunner is the most bad to the bone job in the Marine Corps that you could possibly have. You sit in the window of a helicopter and you shoot a .50 caliber machine gun. You protect your helicopter and the men and women that are inside of your helicopter. That's your job. You are the eyes and the ears to the pilots. June 23rd, 2012 started like any other day, any other mission. I had done many like them in the past. We were meant to be moving from Camp Bastion, which is a British air base out in Afghanistan. And we were going en route to a forward operating base to do combat resupplies and to drop off Army medics to aid some Marines that needed care. And then from there we were going to do an extraction of Marines from another location. Unfortunately, we never made it to that final location. My helicopter went down right outside of Nowzad, and as a result of the crash, I sustained a variety of injuries, everything from a left leg above the knee amputation to spinal cord trauma, damage to my arms, my eyes, my ears, and a traumatic brain injury to my right frontal lobe. I ended up having a hole smashed through my face. I could actually fit my fist through the lower right side of my jaw. I lost everything. I lost my jaw, I lost my teeth. The only two real ones were the two front ones that were wired back in. My healing process took a while. Physically, I turned to sports. I just needed something to make me want to wake up every day. Give me something to look forward to. And while it was frustrating, learning something new all over again is pretty exciting, especially when I entered into the world of extreme sports. That's when I was just blown away. My whole life I was doing team sports. I had no idea some of this other stuff existed. But emotionally it was hard. And I was actually one of the veterans that struggled with taking my own life in the first year of my recovery. And that's when I decided that if I couldn't live for myself, that I was going to live for other people. Whether that was my mom, my dad, my sister, friends, or the reality is I'm going to keep living for the people that never made it home. So the 7 Summits is the highest peak on each of the 7 continents. And it's just something that's not being done by a lot of amputees. And I think it should be being done by a lot of amputees. So the reality is I'm trying to set the precedence. But in March of 2017, when I climbed Kilimanjaro, I did it with the intention to raise money for a nonprofit called the Waterboys, and it was extremely successful. But when I was there, I realized I didn't want to stop. I didn't want to finish with just Kilimanjaro. And I was introduced into regions of the world that I never would have been introduced to had it not been for mountaineering. And so I started researching a little bit more and figuring out where these other crazy high peaks were and the environments that they were in and how I can continue helping people here stateside and then how I can help those communities overseas. And I started to run with it. And now I actually just got off of the highest peak in North America called Denali with the intention on supporting and raising awareness and fundraising for building homes for heroes.
Pinups for Vets is a non-profit organization. We produce World War II style pinup calendars that raise money to support our various initiatives. And we do everything from donating state-of-the-art rehab equipment to VA hospitals nationwide to a 50-state hospital tour where we dress up like pinups and hand deliver our calendars as gifts of appreciation to the hospitalized veterans.
Pinups for Vets appealed for me for a variety of reasons. And I don't think it's the reasons that many people are aware of. At 21 years old, I didn't have the role model to look up to. It's taboo to be sexy. It's taboo to be attractive if you're in a wheelchair or you're in a prosthetic or you're disabled. And so I was fearful. I struggled quite a bit with the self-esteem. And I want to be the one that can shake that. I want to be the one where people can own their differences and be proud of it, regardless of what it is, a prosthetic or a scar. And by being feminine and putting these heels on and putting these dresses on and doing your hair and your makeup, I just think it's such a positive representation of owning it. I hope that young women see the picture of me and they say, you know what, she's still rocking it.
She has just come back so strong, and I'm so incredibly inspired by this woman. Her resilience completely motivates me.
I wouldn't be where I am without my hospitals and my doctors. And Pinups for Vets does an amazing, amazing job of not only supporting the veterans in the hospital, but they also give some of the proceeds back. They've given over $60,000 back to the hospitals. And I mean, if it wasn't for my physical therapy, for my occupational therapy, I wouldn't be where I am. The mantra that I kind of live by, if you will, throughout everything was, it's the 6 inches between your ears and what's behind your rib cage, and that contains what we're capable of. As long as you have your head and your heart in the right place, you can overcome anything. We control our circumstances, they don't control us.